This would be close to the end of times, man. We got an eclipse. I've got Shane Bieber out with Tommy John. The Cavs are collapsing. That is the end of time for the Cavs. What a day it is. What a day it is. Home opener for the guards. Yeah, we got the news about Bieber. We got a lot of Cavs to talk about. I want my I Survived the 2024 Eclipse t-shirt, but I think we might need to wait, Ryan, just to make sure. You never know. You never know. We'll get that shirt printed up for tomorrow. But what a day. What a lot of things we got to talk about with the Cavs, with the Guardians today. We'll get to our bracket. I'm really excited about our big play bracket of the week. We got our boost for a little home opener for the guards. We are in a different studio. It's not because of the eclipse. There was other things at play here at Burke Lakefront Airport. So we're in the new studio today. We got a lot to get to this morning here on the show. We're still with you. Take you up to 11 o'clock, as always, right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. Going to be a little different show for us today, Ryan, because they're having an event here at Burke. Dude, downtown, driving in, Science Center's packed. I saw people tailgating. It wasn't many people, but a few people tailgating. Muni lots out. Guardians later. Everybody's got their... Do you have your Eclipse glasses?
I do, right here.
All right, good. I just want you to be safe. Those are pretty good. It's pretty good.
Do you have your pair with you?
Oh, they're at the house.
Oh.
Well, the 3:30. We got
true.
time, right? We got plenty of time getting to the Eclipse today. So I know today, big day, obviously, you're in Cleveland. The influx of people. Did you get gas?
No.
Everybody said go fill up on gas because prices are going to skyrocket.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because everybody's going to fill up on their way out of town today. But nonetheless, got plenty to go on the sports side of things. We'll get to the Guardians. This Bieber, the Tommy John surgery that everybody's afraid. Oh, wait, by the way, we have a national championship game tonight as well. Congratulations, South Carolina, yesterday. Great weekend for the city of Cleveland. So we'll get to that. We'll get to some guards. Well, we start with the Cavs this morning, man. And... I sent the tweet yesterday, and people jumped on me and jumped on about it when it comes to JB Bickerstaff, and it's over. And I said that even before time about what you're seeing with this Cavs team. That loss to the Clippers, dude, you can't have that. There's literally no world. And I know Kawhi didn't play, right? He wasn't out there. I didn't see him.
Nope.
You had Russell Westbrook talking crap. At least Tristan stepped up. This Cavs team, you've always had the mindset, Ryan, about we just need to get to the playoffs. Have you changed that now? Now that we have slipped to the 5 seed, I do know we're only a half game out. And do you want some positivity to start things out here? You want a little positivity to start? There's still a path back to the 3 seed. So as we wake up today, you're a half game back of the 3 seed. The Knicks and the Magic are ahead of you. Right now, some teams have 4 games left. The Cavs have 3. New York has 4. And Orlando also has 4. So at first, they have an extra game. And they might win that and might put you in a bad spot, I understand. But here's Orlando's last 4 games. They have 3 against the Bucks. Don't know. I'm sorry, 2 against the Bucks. What am I saying? 1 against the 76ers, who are going to play really hard in that game. And then they have a throwaway game against the Houston Rockets. For the Knicks, it's a little bit of an easier path. They only have 1 game left against the Boston Celtics. Again, will the Celtics be resting guys? We'll see. Then the Nets and 2 against the Bulls. So really, the Knicks are probably in the catbird seat. For the Cavs' last 3 games, 1 against the Pacers, Hornets, and Grizzlies. And in fact, if you go to tankathon.com for strength of schedule, again, with 3 or 4 games left, Cavs have the 3rd easiest schedule on the way out because we play the Hornets and the Grizzlies and they suck. You've got to sweep this out. I would sit Donovan Mitchell for this Grizzlies game. I'd put him out there for the Pacers game, and I'd sit him against the Hornets. And you're asking this team who just choked away a 20-plus point lead yesterday to get these wins. That's all I have left. And that's really where I'm at. We're going to have negative conversations about the Cavs. You want me to start this morning and freak out about JB Bickerstaff? I don't know what to tell you. It's over. And that comes with somebody who likes JB Bickerstaff. I thought he's a good coach. I guess he's not. Everybody on Twitter is telling me I'm a moron because I was believing in JB Bickerstaff. That's done. That's all. Don't even concern yourself with that. You want to get out there and try to send out all these messages about how bad JB Bickerstaff, there's no point. It is futile. That is an exercise in futility if you're going to try to sit there and tell me how bad JB Bickerstaff is. That's done. That's over. He's not going to be the head coach of the Cavs moving forward after the season. That sucks. I don't like saying that. It's just a fact. With the losses that this team has had, with how they've looked down this stretch, what else are you going to do? So with that aside, I'm going to put myself now in winning these last 3 games, and now you got a scoreboard watch. And I hate doing that. I hate when it's not in your control. But this is what the Cavs have done. This is what they have set themselves up for with a bad stretch of basketball. It's very apparent that they rushed Donovan Mitchell back from this knee injury. He was not right. They did the PRP, but they felt it starting to squeeze. They felt it starting to tighten up, and we had to get him back because you're not going anywhere without him. And I thought you'd be able to win some of these games without him, but apparently not. What did the Cavs streak on? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've lost 8 out of their last 11 games. 8 out of their last 11. Not all with Donovan Mitchell. Other guys have to, you cannot have that. And maybe it is the big, I don't know, Ryan, if it's like we were jaded, we were wrong in viewing this team, and it's maybe a lesson to be served. Don't tell me what this team is in January. What this team is in January is very clearly a lot different once we hit April, and let alone when we start getting into the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. Cavs are going to make it. And you want to know the other thing? I have a bad feeling that the playoffs then just become a nuisance. They're just going to be a play the string. Like, nobody's going to have any juice for that. You're not entering the playoffs where people are going to be packing Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for a couple of games and all excited. It almost seems like it's just in the way of getting to the offseason and all the moves that we think the Cavs are going to have to make or not. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. So what I have to do, and what I'm going to try to do, is put all my energy into these 3 games. It serves no purpose for me to sit here and tell you things you already know. Obvious things. We are upset. We're frustrated. JB's not done a good job. And I do want to get this on the record, okay? I want to say I still think JB Bickerstaff's a good coach. Some of the things that are wrong with this team lie with the team. And I get that falls at the feet of JB Bickerstaff. But the effort, the mentality, I get it. Coach is supposed to set that, and it's supposed to be a reflection of head coach. Dude, Ryan, you can only do so much. And with how much Donovan Mitchell has missed, just with the mental makeup of there's only so much. He's not a miracle worker. And I'll be the first to tell you that he's probably on the outs. And that's got to be, I want to be sympathetic. That has got to be, this is going to be probably the worst month stretch of JB Bickerstaff's professional career, right? You're lame duck. You're just playing it out, wondering where you're going to be coaching next year. And I hate that. And I don't like it because I like JB. I do. And for people that were so quick to jump on me and say, well, JB's been a terrible coach for 3 years. What have you been watching? He's been a bad coach all year. You're full of crap. You are full of crap. There was a time he was in the discussion for Coach of the Year. You looked at what he was doing without Garland and Mobley. You go, oh my God, what a job. 2 months later, here we are. And I'm not one that's going to jump on, well, go back, remember that? I get it. I completely understand where we're at right now. And not necessarily, I guess, his fault. I mean, the thing is, you want your pound of flesh. You want to be able to blame somebody, and it's going to fall on him. You're not trading away these players. Now, the rest of this offseason, too, which, again, I'm focusing on these games. Do you want to know the other crappy thing about where we're at right now? When they make the move on JB Bickerstaff, that then delays the decision from Donovan Mitchell. I don't think he's going to make a decision until he finds out who the next head coach is. That takes process. That takes time. And yeah, maybe Donovan Mitchell has already made his decision. There's reports coming out left and right now. What? He's not signing the extension here and he's going to get traded. And boy, where are we going to be after that? I still don't regret any part of that trade. It was a good trade. You rolled the dice. You tried it out. Other guys didn't show up. The team is not maybe as built as you. But okay. People also on JB want to say he's underachieving with talented team. What talent do you see? When you watch them choke away a lead like that, when you watch how some of the games have gone, stop looking at names and look at how they're playing. Yeah, he's underachieved with a lot of talent. That talent's playing like ass right now. It doesn't matter. You could have Greg Popovich. You could reanimate Red Auerbach and put him on the sidelines right now. You're not winning these games. I'm not defending JB because there's no point in defending him anymore. It's over. But for everybody that's just going to think, just fire the coach, we'll be fine. It's not that simple. And after what happened last year, you would hope that that would not be what we're at right now. It is a toughness mentality thing. They've not changed. They're the same team. They're the same team that got owned by the Knicks last year. They hit some rough patches, and they couldn't deal with it. Specifically without Mitchell. They hit the rough patch, but when Donovan Mitchell was out there, they survived. They actually thrived. We were having all these debates about what lineup works. I saw this yesterday, right? I think it was from Justin Rowan. Shout out to him. And the analytic point was that the Cavs starting five, and more specifically, the Cavs big four, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen, when they're on the floor, it's really good. Their offensive rating was near 120. Defensive rating was actually down to like 108. That's winning basketball. The issue is I don't have that. I've got this hodgepodge trying to piece it all together, and it's been disconjointed because they haven't gotten time together. And it's very obvious that Donovan Mitchell is not healthy. So you're trying to limp it along here and drag him along. And yeah, hindsight's 2020. We play that game all day long. They clearly brought him back too soon. But where would you be if you hadn't? I don't know. Would you be in, and I guess this is the ultimate, what if, right? Does the eclipse time travel? Is that something today with the eclipse? Can we get some time travel going here? Can I go back just a couple of weeks and scream to the Cavs, don't bring Mitchell back yet? Because you'd feel different if the Cavs were in this position, but Donovan Mitchell had not played at all, and he was going to lace him up in a couple, in a few days and come back and be completely fine. That's not the world that we live in, though. That's not where we're at today. So we have to play this out with your star player hurt, his decision looming, a lame duck head coach, and a team that is just so mentally broken. They are broken. And I don't know if there's anything that they can do to get it fixed. And you got to enter the playoffs, which, again, if it started today, guess who you got? The Knicks.
Not only do you have the Knicks, Matt, but you gave up home court advantage to the Knicks, Matt. And I hate to sit here and beat a dead horse up, Matt, but this goes back to a month ago, and I mentioned this many times on the show. I brought it back to the point of, as talented as Donovan Mitchell is, I looked at this roster. It's nowhere near talented enough to be able to compete with the Nuggets, to compete with the Celtics, and even we're proven to compete with these teams like the Clippers, who are a championship contender team, but I don't think they're on the same level of the Nuggets. I mean, we get blown out by the Heat when you don't have Donovan Mitchell. I don't care if you lose your superstar. You don't get blown out by the Heat, who are right now, a 7 seed, Matt?
Well,
and you talk about mental weakness. Yeah, oh my God. How many times have we seen them just, I don't want to say give up, but when Donovan's out there, it looks like they forget how to run an offense. In that first half of the Clippers game the other night, they looked amazing. I mean, you put up 80 points and a half of basketball, that's damn good. You really should never lose a game, and there's no excuse for that. And I don't know if you fall that on the hands of the players. Obviously, JB has to get blamed because I don't know. What, did you not see anything that Ty Lue was doing and decided to counter it? Like, I don't know. Were you just that, are you not that good of a head coach that you can adjust? And
I'll tell you what happened yesterday. I'll tell you 100% what happened yesterday. You were on a tough West Coast swing. You got out to a lead, and you just thought the Clippers, without Kawhi, would eventually roll over, and you can get on the plane and get on home and rest and get ready to go, and then you turn, and it's down to a 5-point lead all of a sudden, and you go, crap, you can't restart. We see that with teams. When you give up that big of a lead, you can't then restart it. Those guys were already on the plane. And I guess this is also a debate that people have, or a mindset that people have, where they blame the coach, right? Where you sit there and you blame JB for allowing your players to think that way. I choose to blame the players. They're professionals. They've played a lot of basketball in their lives. If JB's standing on that sideline screaming at them, don't give up yet. This game's not over yet. Play it on. You got to play tough here. And they're still, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's all right. We're up 20. That's all right. Hit a shot here. Oh, that's okay. We missed. Oh, they made a bucket. That's fine. That's no problem. I don't put that on the coach. I put it on the players. For some reason, a lot of fans are so quick to blame the coach for that. And I said, where's the blame for the players? Do you feel like the players are getting their due just blame in all of this, Ryan? I don't.
No, I mean,
I don't. I, for some reason, don't.
But yesterday was kind of the perfect example of there's no longer shadowing the Cavs' troubles with the fact that, oh, Donovan Mitchell, once he comes back healthy, we're going to be good again. Yesterday's performance just showed me that you can't mask that with that anymore. And not at all. As good as Donovan is, this team isn't ready for playoff basketball.
Well, and then what are you going to be without him? What are you going to be without him?
Exactly.
Because for what Dan Gilbert said, and you know how I feel about what Dan said, I don't see how Donovan Mitchell can look at this team and say, we're on the right track here. These players are the ones that I need to go win a championship. Because all that has been proven is that this team is nothing without him. And that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of burden to carry. And I guess that's any star player. But you look at the Celtics without Jason Tatum. Would they lose that game? I don't know. The Nuggets without Jokic. Would they have lost? I don't know. And I'm putting a little on it because that other debate rages on about where Donovan slots in amongst the elite players and all that kind of stuff. But any elite player, go back to LeBron. What do they search for? A supporting cast. Part of the reason that LeBron left was there was no supporting cast here. The second time he left is because the supporting cast was gone again. They want to win championships. Basketball is one of the more individual type sports. The debate rages about Caitlin Clark, right? So she ends her career without a national championship. All those records, all those accolades. And people get so mad about the GOAT conversation. I saw a couple great tweets about it. You can admit that they're great. You can admit that Camila Cardoso is great, that Dawn Staley is great, that Caitlin Clark is great. You don't always need to compare and only have one singular one. But the thing about basketball, it is still a team sport. Caitlin Clark, yes, did not win a national championship. It's not because of her. It's not because of her individual talents. And I'm not trying to rip the rest of the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team, but it is still a team sport. So when I look at Donovan Mitchell saying, I can only do so much, and even then, it's still not enough. And again, a moment of positivity, which you're going to laugh, and please don't right now. I can't handle it. What if they win a first-round playoff series? Stop that. Stop it. What if they win? No, not you. You can film. I'm sorry. I didn't. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I wasn't yelling at that person. Stopped by and they were like videotaping.
Oh,
and I was yelling, stop. I wasn't yelling at them. I was yelling at Ryan. I'm sorry. You can go back and tape. I'm sorry.
You're
Burke
giving the
is
show
alive.
a bad name.
We're in the new studio, or we're in the main studio because they're having an event down there.
You just shoot away a fan.
I didn't mean to do that. I was talking to you. I was yelling at Ryan. I'm sorry. No, come on back. Yeah, you're fine. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, come on back. You're fine. No, I was yelling at him. I wasn't yelling at you. You can tape the game, or you can tape the show all you want. It's free. YouTube, by the way. Twitter, at Matt Fontana Show. Thank you. Yeah. The hell was I talking about? Oh, if they win a first-round playoff series, then maybe we're feeling a little bit different, right?
JB's still gone.
I get it.
Still got all the problems in the world.
And I don't know what the masking of that is. Go to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe change. I don't know, man. The problem is you don't feel it. You feel nothing about where the Cavs are at right now. And I could get angry like everybody else. It's just, these are statements of fact of where we're at. This team is not good enough. You got a lame duck coach. And let's talk JB for a second, man. It's playing out how I didn't want it to play out this way, but it's kind of this idea of he got you this far and then you need somebody else to take you over. Now, I don't want them to go pull this crap of getting Doc Rivers, a Doc Rivers type coach. Go get Adrian Griffin, I guess. I don't know. Like, you make that move in part to shake the team and wake them up, right? What is that going to mean in the offseason? What's that going to mean for now? Now, the Cavs, you have dug this hole that it's going to cost JB his job. Right or wrong, indifferent or not, that's what's going to happen. And it's not always his fault. Coaches get fired all the time, even though it's not all their fault. That's the job. That's why they're paid all that money. I get it, right? The Cavs are making this move because of how the team plays out, and the coach has to take that on, and that is what's going to happen here. So me freaking out about trying to keep him or not, it's done. It's over. There's no conversation to be had there. But I'm talking about the health of the franchise. I'm talking about where this team is going to go. And now, again, you zero in on what Donovan Mitchell is going to do and what you think what decision he's going to make. Ryan, you ask him, he's got to make this decision this morning. What do you think he's going to think? It's all about the accumulation of your thoughts, the accumulation of what he's seen all season. I don't feel good about him signing this extension right now. I feel zero about it. And I don't regret the trade. And they'll trade him away. He's not going to walk. And you'll get some pieces back. And then you start talking about where we'll be from there. And I hate that. It was just a month ago.
Month and a half ago. I quite frankly have never really, I would say if I had to gauge it, lean one way or other if I think Mitchell's going to stay. I don't know if I've necessarily ever been that he felt more confident than not that he's going to stay. And now it's certainly not even close.
Yeah, you flipped. And I again, maybe maybe he's seeing something different that I'm not. I don't know. A lot of people jumped onto if you're presented with a max contract, you sign that. And knowing that you still have the power. This will probably be a sign and trade type situation. They'll sign him and then trade him away right away. That's probably what's going to happen in this. I mean, again, I'm going to try to be positive on this morning. You had evolution of Jared Allen. I'm still all in on Evan Mobley. And we're back in on Garland.
What's with Darius missing wide open layups?
I don't know.
It's been a trend now. It's become a pattern to me, Matt, and that's very concerning.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it goes back to a lot of what we have discussed, right? It's the contact. He got smacked in the face. Broke a jaw. He's not been the same since.
No, not at all.
He has not been the same since. And I hope an offseason fixes it. I don't know. He had the game last night that I asked. Put up 28. That's fine. You had 20 from Mobley. Dude, you had no business losing that game. None. Paul George goes off for that 39, though. And what was it, something insane that he did in the second half, too? I mean, you can't have that. You just can't have that.
I've seen Evan Mobley hit the deck way too many times this season.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, it's a physicality thing. It's the hard part of physicality. And the Cavs either have it or don't. They got to get a lot fixed, man. I'm in such a bad spot there with the Cavs. But it is still home opener, baby. Let's go, Guardians! I think
I have it, Matt, but we don't have the music.
That's okay.
All right, well, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go! Guards, let's go! We're in the new studio.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. That's all right. Here's our boost for tonight. Nick has suckered us into this first inning no-run thing, so we'll start there.
I like that for a home opener, though. Start a little slower, probably.
Okay, so you want some stats to back this up?
Yeah.
This season, first inning runs. The Guardians are tied for 8th in Major League Baseball. They average 0.6 runs in the first inning. The good news, the White Sox only average 0.2. You want a free bet? Nationals, first inning runs. Ryan, they've not scored a first inning run all year.
Wow.
All year. So we'll go under first inning total. I like the Jose 2 bases here.
Yeah,
couple of singles, a nice little double, something, and we'll take the Guards minus a run and a half.
Slamming that.
I love it. Plus 486 right now in Tipico. Let's go right now. Sign up. Use that code Fontana100 for all you new customers out there. Deposit and bet $25 with the code Fontana100. You'll see it on the screen there. And you will get $100 in bonus bets. $25 on any game. Take Guardians money line if you want, whatever you want. Deposit and bet. Soon as that game ends, you get your bonus bets, and you're off to the races. So I'm in right now. Big play boost. Hang on. I hit a nice little one this weekend. I didn't even know I hit. It's nice. I forgot I bet on the women's semifinals. Cashed that, which was nice. All right, boosts. Where are we at? Got it right here. Let's go. Right there. What do you think? Nice little 10 spot on her?
Yeah, I like 10.
10 spot.
Win
it
what,
is.
48?
Placing bet. 58-68. Total payout. Right there. Typico, use that code Fontana won our national championship tonight. Does Purdue get it done? I don't know. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later. All the bets that you need. Basketball playoffs, baseball going. Typico's where you want to bet, folks. The same game parlays are great. The boost, the cashback rewards are amazing. You don't have to do anything. Just bet like you normally do. They add it up for you. You get that cash back, and we rock with our friends on Typico. Use that code Fontana100. It's a little, how much does the Bieber news kind of take away from today for you, Ryan? A little bit.
You know, I'm trying not to let it take away from this amazing start that the Guards have. Look, you're 7-2. You're in the driver's seat for the division. I understand the Tigers ended up losing to the A's, so I believe we're in first place, if I'm not mistaken, right now. And I mean, we've been the bats, Matt. That's kind of
that's it for me.
That's what it's been. I think it's very hard to take away. Of course, that's unfortunate news. I mean, you know what we try to do here? We try to look at the bright side of things. I mean, maybe, okay, what now? You just give him an extension. Hope he rehabs well. You're obviously not trading him.
So
now.
I mentioned that. I think they follow the Mike Clevenger thing. So Mike Clevenger, when he went to the Padres, he was done on his deal. The same day that they announced he had a 2-year extension, they all said, oh, and by the way, he needs Tommy John surgery. So I think for the Clevenger, if the numbers, if I remember the numbers, it was like $5 million for his dead year, the year he was rehabbing, and then $8 million with a bunch of incentives for year 2. That's what you do with Bieber. That's what you do with Bieber. You sign him to an extension now and hope that he comes back to some semblance of something.
Yeah, I mean, look at it, Matt. You got Gavin Williams coming back. You hope that's going to be another bright spot to kind of fill the shoes. I mean, Bybee had a really good second outing.
Great outing. Logan Allen was dealing.
Logan Allen's good. You hope the same thing today as we speak. Tristan McKenzie, you hope he bounces back. And then at the end of the day, Carlos Carrasco looked pretty decent.
Like on Saturday, I loved that game because I cashed a mine. Dude, can I give you a quick little tip on betting when it comes to baseball? Take a 1.5. Because you look at games, and you could obviously take the money line. And most baseball games that you will ever find, there's some rare ones that you will get a 2.5 line to start, but usually it's a standard 1.5 run line. And then they'll change the odds based on it. Ryan, do you know that 72% of baseball games end with multiple runs either way? Only 28% of Major League Baseball games are within 1 run. Your odds tell you just take your winner and take them either way.
Well, that'd be good for our boost today.
That's why I went with the boost that I did for today. That we'd win for today. For the White Sox and the Guards, you got to take a -1.5. There's your best bet. Now, that being said, you're right. The bats have showed up. What I was going to say about Carrasco, he got knocked around a little bit, but he still fought.
And he still,
he was trying, and then you get to the bullpen. They got the day off yesterday. They're ready to go today. You could be a lot worse off. The rage in baseball right now is Tommy John. And everybody's talking about the pitch clock and this. And I get that the people are trying to make the correlation. There is no correlation. The correlation of Tommy John has been for the last decade. I know Spencer Strider's down now. It's elbow injuries. And it's because these pitchers in today's day and age are working on spin and velocity. I go back to an old school mindset that Bob Feller, the late great Mr. Bob Feller. Wait till we get to our boost or our bracket later. I haven't even told Ryan what our bracket is this week. Do you want me to tell you now? You want to hold on to it?
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it. They asked Bob Feller, the heater from Van Meter, Rapid Robert, who at one point on a naval ship, Ryan, allegedly threw a 104-mile-an-hour fastball. They couldn't substantiate it because he used a radar gun from a Navy ship. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being a badass standing on an aircraft carrier throwing 104-mile-per-hour pitches? Come on now.
I don't even know if Alrotis gets that pretty constantly.
I just say. So Bob Feller, and this was years ago, clearly, and he said, somebody asked him, like, what do you think all these guys getting hurt right now? And they go, you think it's because they're throwing too much? And he goes, no, it's because they're not throwing enough. He goes, back in my day, I pitched every day. I didn't have elbow problems. I didn't have arm problems. And trust me, Bob Feller was still getting it up there. He was throwing really hard. Science, I'm not going to debate or debunk science here. I'm not Aaron Rodgers. So I believe in all the sports medicine that tell you when you throw hard and you throw curveballs and you're putting elbow strain on. James Andrews coming out. He goes, the UCL ligament is not even fully formed till you're 25. Bro, I got 15-year-old kids throwing 90 because they want to go to college, because they love the radar gun. Everybody gets Tommy John now. This is not a pitch clock problem. It's a baseball problem. Everybody chases spin rate and velocity. And I'm just going to say this. Ryan, what was Shane Bieber doing this offseason?
He was working on that velocity.
Chasing velocity. I want a stat. You know Driveline? You know all about that Driveline place?
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was at? How many guys come out of that the next year and they need Tommy John? I don't know the answer to that question, and maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree with this. I don't know. It's tough for me to not connect dots here. He chased velocity, went to that Driveline, and 2 weeks into the season, he needs Tommy John. Come on now. What's going on? Now, again, I think this is a baseball problem. I think this is a pitching problem. It's not. I don't think. I buy nothing with the pitch clock. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I really don't. And where this team goes from here, I know it seems like it's bleak, but again, it's Ryan. I thought about a Twitter because we haven't posted a Twitter question this morning. What was more disappointing? And it's a negative one, but what was more disappointing this weekend? Shane Bieber's injury or the Cavs? What do you think was a gut punch more?
That's a good question.
All right, post it up. At Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there if you can. We always stream every morning. Twitter, we're up on YouTube. At Matt Fontana Show. Twitch as well. At Matt Fontana Show. What was more of the gut punch this weekend? Bieber's injury or the Cavs? And I think you could vote Cavs because they're the team and you don't feel good about the team. You could be a gut punch on Shane Bieber because you've already jettisoned the Cavs off into the eclipse. You're already done with the Cavs. The Guardians have a potential still. You got the whole season in front of you. And they have some pitch. Again, you talked about Gavin, the one that really I thought a lot about, man, when I got that news was Daniel Espino, man. Shoulder injury, he's done for the year. He's top prospect. You brought him up. Joey Cantillo, still injured. I saw a couple other names of some minor league guys. So you'll get those. And listen, if you want to keep that last spot in the rotation as kind of your, I can't think of a better word, your rotational piece, and you're just kind of bringing guys up and getting a start, and you'll see Joey Cantillo by the end of the year. I'll put good money on that. Bring up some of these guys. Xavier Curry is coming back. Maybe you just completely flip here, and you tell Xavier Curry, you're not going to the bullpen. We need to stretch you on out here. I don't know, because then you still have Carrasco, and you got Gavin Williams, who's still a little far off. Guardians got some problems. Now, that being said, the bats are hot. They're hitting. And that has usually been the negative part of the Guardians early in the season. They struggled and they weren't hitting. Now they are. So I think as you talk about which was the bigger gut punch here, you still feel good about the Guards trying to overcome this. Now it sucks because Bieber had 2 great outings.
Man, did
Tried to pitch through it in Seattle. Can't win, man. Can't win. I sent a tweet out that got a lot of traction to people.
I saw that.
The last 8 months of injuries. Watson, Chubb, Conklin. Yeah, you want to put Delpit, Jed Wills, Garland, Mobley, Mitchell, now Shane Bieber. You want to know the response that everybody was coming at? Well, that's what you get when you trade for Deshaun Watson.
Dude,
that he brought the bad juju here. Get out of here with that.
Might as well bring Trevor Bauer back.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. No. I know that's people instantly think that he'll never pitch for Major League Baseball again. And I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but innocent until proven guilty, I guess. I know he's been proven that way. You don't want that. Not with a first-year manager. Not with that. And again, what does Bieber have left? All you saw was him pitching overseas, and then he had 1 exhibition game against the Yankees. Oh, my God. Ooh.
We're already getting responses on our question.
What do we got?
David says, this can't be an actual thing you put out. Anyone who picks the 26-point lead is a troll.
Okay. So he's obviously going with the Guardians.
Yeah.
He's obviously going Guards on that. I get it. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I completely understand that people would be more upset. And I'll retweet it here, too, as well. I don't know. Like, we got to vote. It's got to be Bieber, right?
I mean, I say Bieber just because, you have a whole season to go through, more game, like 150 whatever games to go through.
Yeah, but you got more time to overcome that. Cavs are dead in the water.
But I mean, the part of it was, if we went out here and Shane Bieber got shelled his first 2 starts, it wouldn't be a big deal. But the fact that he had the best 2 starts in Major League Baseball, 12 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, almost 10 Ks apiece in each game. I mean, he was off to another Cy Young start. And that's kind of what we wanted was his Bieber back because we knew, okay, if we're in contention, you hope that they wouldn't trade him, even though the real is they might have. But I mean, yeah, I'm voting.
Well, that's another thing.
But then you could go back and you could say, okay, I'm voting for the Cavs. Why? Because like you said, there's not time to figure it out. And right now, this is crucial. We're 3 games away from the playoffs.
That's the thing. The Guardians have time to get this figured out. They have time to get it figured out for the season. But you bring up a great point. You were going to trade him, or you were supposed to trade him. Looks like a mistake, does it not? Right?
That's so
right.
Tough,
I know. I know.
But it doesn't. Well,
I hate it. But does it not look stupid that you didn't trade him this offseason?
No, I can't say that.
Okay.
I can't say that.
All right. I mean, okay, you have to say that. Seriously. It's unfair. Chris Antonetti and Mike Chernoff do not have a time machine and have a crystal ball, but it is a mistake. I understand. I'm giving them the excuse. I'll give them the out, but it is now clearly a mistake.
Yeah, okay, well,
you have no debate. There is no debate to be had. Right, of course.
You go back, obviously, everybody now with the right mind would say that Deshaun Watson deal is a mistake.
Well,
but
that's
you go
the same
back,
exact thing,
but you go back 2 years ago, majority of people would say, finally, we traded and we got a franchise quarterback. You know?
100%. 100%.
But if Shane Bieber was healthy and he started playing like he has these first 2 starts and he looks like he's the Cy Young front runner, there's no way you trade him.
No,
I know you still think they probably would have, but I don't think no way, especially with this start to the season. The bats are there. You finally got some run support. No way you trade him.
I get it. And, dude, and I want to say this. You know how starting pitching goes in baseball. Then this isn't the last one. And I'm not saying season ending, but like dude, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys start games every year for most teams, right? Every year. And all you try to do is just capture the guy in the right year, like Garrett, even Garrett Cole's, like everybody misses time in a rotation. Everybody. But you know who I'm Garrett at. You know who I'm right now. You need Tristan McKenzie to not. We can't have that anymore. And it's not his fault. I know none of this is his fault. And I like Tristan McKenzie. But how much pressure has now been put on? He can't miss any time.
No, man.
He cannot. And I know Bybee, he's younger, Logan Allen, all that. But like with this news, I'm zeroing now in Tristan McKenzie that I hope that his injuries are gone.
I mean, we don't
really
know what Gavin Williams is. I know he had some good starts last year, but he's still very young. He doesn't have much experience in the major leagues, and coming off an injury, I don't expect him, to go out there and start rocking it.
No, and
I'm looking at, like you said, McKenzie, Tanner Bybee, and Logan Allen. You have to be fully healthy the rest of the season.
Well, then you also talk about when the Guardians get to the trade deadline, or even like their idea of potentially trading for a player to bring him in, that's most likely not going to happen, right? We've seen this team. People want to forget this. We've seen this team go all in for playoffs and World Series and make trades for rental players. I don't know if that's happening this year. I don't. If you were in this situation next year, maybe, or down the road, the thing about the Guardians, the window. Everybody talks about the window. And what they have kind of avoided is the perpetual bad window, right? Where the Tigers are at, where kind of the White Sox are at, where you build it up, then you tear it down. They've been able to avoid that by always having young prospects coming up, and they make the future trades for a lot of the guys that you have or you bring in. So they've been able to avoid that. But right now, what you believed and kind of what I was hoping is you're entering a new window. You're at the beginning of a new contention window, and you're off to a good start. Outside of this Bieber news, you're entering a good start to this contention window. You don't make the trades of a midseason rental until you're a little later in the contention window, right? Where you really know that this is the time. Now, the other side of it, you could say that you are in a division that is ripe for the taking. Somebody's got to win this division. And you now... dude, what do you look at it now, Ryan? You sit here and you say, the White Sox are going to suck. People expect it. I had a buddy try to tell me on the Tigers.
No.
Said the Tigers were coming.
Go look how many runs they've scored.
I know.
Nope.
We have scored 53. They've scored 29, by the way. Royals, bad. And the Twins, injuries aplenty, are in a really bad spot right now. Here's the way that I look at it. It's going to be a 2-horse race. It's going to be the Guardians and somebody else. I don't know who. It might be the Tigers. Maybe the Twins get their act together. But when you tell me that it's only you and basically somebody else to win the division to go to the playoffs, maybe that would spur the Guardians to make a move.
You would hope so, because, I mean, how long can you be content in that window of just being mediocre, especially in the AL Central?
Well, but the thing is,
because you mentioned, yeah, we're never a basement dweller mostly because the AL Central's kind of been a joke for the last 5 years outside of a couple teams. But it reminds me of the Steelers. Never in the bottom of the barrel, but since they won the Super Bowl with Big Ben, I mean, yeah, they've always made the playoffs. They've been perennial powerhouse, but they've never been able to get to the big stage again, and that kind of worries me about the Guardians.
But the thing is, you got to go through that part to get back to contention. You've got to go through mediocrity.
Sure, but
I would tell you, I don't think the Guardians have been mediocre. I don't think they've been mediocre the last 5-10 years. They've been above average, but you can't do that every year.
Last 5 years, no.
Last 5 years, you think they've just been mediocre?
Yeah, how could it not be?
Well, I mean, you have 1 division title and 2 playoff appearances.
That's pretty mediocre,
okay.
I think.
All right, fine. Okay, I'll listen to that. But then it gets back to my point. You went through the time of mediocrity to get back to maybe a window of contention now.
All right, I'll listen to that.
And then the Bieber news, again, it's like you look at it and you say, okay, at least you have some other players, other pieces to get this done. I don't know. And the Guardians, they'll fight through this. It's next man up. You don't really have a choice. And I think for the fact that they've off to a decent start gives them a little bit of a little bit of swag, a little bit of confidence to be able to make this run if they can, to make the push if they really can. I don't see this team giving up. I think this team, for a good point, is too young to even know what they're doing. Go out there and play. Go out there and just let it fly and see where you figure it out. Stephen Vogt off to a good start. And you have a chance to get fat on some of these bad teams. So that's where the Guardians are at. Home opener today. Very excited. I know a lot of people are going to be down there early for the eclipse and hanging out. It's going to be a good atmosphere today. Get a win. And I think I don't want to ever put too much on the home opener. But to talk from a non-baseball standpoint for a second, the pressure on today to get some return customers. Because you want to go down there. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. Is it not supposed to be near 80 today?
70, yeah.
It's supposed to be beautiful. You want to sucker some people in. You'll have the new ballpark. You've got the new drink rails. You got half of the new seats. I'm coming around on the seats, by the way. I like the blue. I like them. I've seen them more. I like it. So what you want is people to go down there because we packed the home opener. We saw it the home opener. I didn't even look. Tickets today? What do you think? StubHub's the first one that came up. Let's see what we got here.
For like an outfield seat?
Anything. Just get in the door.
Got to be at least like
prices are dropping on StubHub.
Well, they drop as it gets closer.
If I want 2 tickets, I got $50 seats for today. I can get you an upper level $50. So I got a little lower. I can get you a lower level for $100. Lower level $100. You want bleachers? Oh my God, $66. I might kidnap my kid. We got a party. We have an eclipse party to go to today. We're going to my in-law or my wife's aunt and uncle. We're having an eclipse party. Yeah, everybody's got our glass. We're going to hang out. Well, actually, it was a perfect storm of getting together for the eclipse, but then the Guardians start at 5 o'clock. So we're making like hot dogs and nachos. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. But, yeah, man, if not, I'd snag the kid here. I'll tell you this. There's not a lot of seats. So they're going to list the sellout. But, yeah, man, I really, for a lot of sections, I only see 1 or 2 or 3 listings. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of the seats are eaten up for today. But my whole point was going to be, you get these people in there on a beautiful day for April 8th, and you win the game the next time. Hey, should we go to the game? Hell yeah, we should go to the game. There's a lot of pressure on the Guardians for today to get this win. Now, thankfully, they are playing a JV squad in the Chicago White Sox. Holy God, are they bad?
You think they'll forget to send out a first base coach again today? What are the odds on that?
I mean, a lot of intricacies to a game, Ryan. You forget about that. Well, I mean, you play baseball growing up, right? How many games did you have where you just had guys in the dugout yelling you whether or not to go, or you hit the ball and you just got to listen to the dugout to tell you to go to 2 or not? Been there before.
I'm also paying hundreds, near $1,000 to play the sport, not getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions to play the sport. That's
I'm just
the difference
saying
there.
That's fine. Just yell. Just listen to the dugout. The game starts and you had to go grab your dad out of the. I'll tell you this: one of my favorite baseball memories growing up. First home run I ever hit, my dad was the first base coach. First base coach, the other dad wasn't there.
Dude, that's so funny you say that. My first home run, my dad was the first base coach.
There you go.
Yeah, that's funny.
So you want to know a funny story? And then I hit it, and I just ran. And my dad put his hand out on first base. And I just ran past him. Yeah. I didn't stop running until I got to third base because nobody told me. And then I just like walked because what I did, I looked up after first and I saw the center fielder and the left fielder with their backs to me, but I saw them standing together and I go, oh, they're picking the ball up. It like hit the fence. Like, no, it went over the fence.
Yeah, I pimped a dinger to center field, like first one ever. It felt so.
Oh,
good,
in my
like
career,
best feeling in the world. Like you rounding the bases, you just feel like the absolute guy.
I hit one in high school that like off of the bat. I didn't even look. I took a step and I just put the bat down. And in my head, I go, God, please get out because if it doesn't, I'm going to look like a real jack. Yeah, sick. You made it out. It was good. It was good. So it's going to be a good day today for the Guardians. I'm feeling the mo. I know there's some people downtown already for the eclipse and all that kind of stuff, but still, big day for the Guardians. I know the Bieber news is not one you want to hear, but this is where we're at. I think they'll be able to fight through, and we'll see. We'll talk some more Cavs. Browns, quiet weekend, except they had a visit with my guy, Joe Milton.
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm starting the campaign now. Joe Milton in the 6th round. Who's Joe Milton? He is a giant, athletic freak of a quarterback from the University of Tennessee. He started out at Florida. Or no, was he at Michigan? I think he was at Michigan. Yeah. Started there, ended up going to Tennessee. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. I'd do it. Now, DTR, I'm still all in on DTR. You still have Huntley, you still have Jameis Winston. Would that be the first 5-man quarterback room and training camp? I don't know. But they're visiting with Joe Milton. And those visits, I think, are super interesting for the Browns from this standpoint. You're not wasting a visit on Brock Bowers. You're not wasting a visit on Marvin Harrison Jr. Those guys are not going to be there. So you're talking about your mid-level guys, your mid-round. Did they not meet with Malachi Corley? Supposedly they're interested in Troy Franklin. But to use a top 30 visit on Joe Milton, I found that very interesting.
Why haven't they used one on Ladd?
Maybe they feel like Ladd's not going to be there.
But there's a chance.
For those, I mean, people are watching. I feel like because we're in the new studio, we're like doing a brand new show. No, it's just for today. They have an event down at other studios, so we're down here today. Ryan really wants Ladd McConkey. I don't know. So I'll tell you this that I found really weird. Mock drafts. Here's what I love about mock drafts. I just like doing it because I want to see where the gauge of who around there is going to be. Obviously, big news was Sweat. Devondre Sweat got arrested for DUI this weekend, and he was a guy that I've seen mocks that the Browns had him taking. D-tackle out of Texas. He's a massive human being. Pre-draft process, that'll get discussed. It always kind of does. We'll see how it goes. What I like about mock drafts is I just like seeing where draft people and experts, they kind of just get a vibe and a feel of who's going to be there or not. It's not that I ever look at 7-round mock drafts and go, oh, yeah, the Browns, that guy's, they were going to take that guy. It's just who's available. I'm getting the vibe Ladd McConkey's not going to be there.
Yeah, I know.
Now, one mock that I saw that was a 3 or a 5-rounder had Ricky Pearsall and Malachi Corley falling to the 3rd round. Now, I mentioned Ricky Pearsall, and he's out of Florida. And people very astutely pointed out he's old relative. He's 24. And that kind of breaks the mold. There's a statistic out there. Nobody drafts younger players than Andrew Berry. His average age at draft is, I think, the lowest in the NFL, if not the 2nd lowest, because there was also a direct connect to who? Howie Roseman. Howie was right there with him. So that's something he probably picked from him coming over from the Eagles. You draft guys that are young. You stay away from your Brandon Wheaton.
I was just about to say, you think if Andrew Berry was here 10 years ago, he would have passed on Brandon
I don't
Wheaton?
think that's happening. So that kind of bucks that trend there. But some of the other guys, then we get into the discussion now of who? Who else did they have in for a visit, Ryan? Trey Benson, running back, Florida State. At this point, it seems like Trey Benson's going to be the first running back off the board. It's either him or Jonathan Brooks coming out of Texas. Not in the 1st round. I will tell you, more recently, which again, you got to realize that the mock drafts that come out in February, they change a lot with visits, with the combine, with what people are hearing. I've not seen any mock in weeks that have had either one of those guys in the 1st round. No. Just no. I don't see it. I get the compare. I get the direct. Oh, hey, Nick Chubb. Still waiting on his restructure, by the way. Nick Chubb injury, that this is a year, avoid that. You run it back. Sorry. with Jerome Ford, with Naheem Hines, with Deontay Foreman, and you'll get Nick Chubb back sometime in the middle of the season, if not earlier, right? I don't need a running back this year. Next year, sure. And the way that guys are getting paid in the NFL, you might be able to snatch a free agent. I don't know. This year, I am adamant. I am vehemently saying, do not draft a running back. You don't need one right now. I want a wide receiver. I'll listen to offensive tackle. There's been a big groundswell with the draft. Got to watch this, folks, about the receivers and the tackles, because there are people saying that, yeah, Cooper DeJean is still going to go in the first round as one of the top corners, right? You're still going to get your quarterbacks that go. But the thing is, in the second round, where the Browns are sitting prime at 54, there's a really good chance that you are going to snag a receiver or an offensive lineman that in any other year might be a first-round pick. So I'm screaming from the mountaintops, do not trade it back and don't draft a running back. That's all I ask for 54.
Didn't you say you think, though, they're going to trade it back?
I do think there's a good possibility on that. You're void of what? A third-round pick? And you start getting your picks back next year. But I think it's twofold for me. Well, let me start with why I think they might. It's in Andrew Berry's DNA. There's something about him, he just likes doing it. He likes allocating these picks. He likes being able to acquire them, use them for other players, use them for trades or end up picking players. Here's the reason why I don't think you want to trade back. A, of what I just said. You are going to have players that fall to you that normally might be end of first round type of players. And B, you don't need to fill 7 holes on this team. The guy that you draft at 54 isn't even going to be a starter for you. And I don't care who it is. They're not starting game 1. This is not a full-on rebuild. So when people say best player available, it's the best player available for your team. Don't ever talk to me about it without adding that last part. When you say best player available, I'm talking about the best player available for your team. You're not drafting a quarterback there. You're not drafting, okay, any other position is open. Like even a corner. As long as you have the guys that are still on this team, Greg Newsome trade or not, whatever happens with that, I don't know if you need another corner. I'm all in. I want the pick to stay there, and I want them to take a receiver. I do. So with them visiting with Joe Milton, I'm all for him later. The Trey Benson visit.
It's due diligence.
I think so. It still is a little interesting, though. Because high in the draft, like high of relative of the draft, the Browns will draft somebody that they met with at 54, right? The famous story goes about Justin Gilbert, that the Browns didn't even meet with him. And the whole argument that Ray Farmer, that he drafted Pettin, he drafted Gilbert for Pettin, and then he drafted Manziel for Haslett, whatever. I'll put good money on whoever the Browns drafted 54, they met with them. And I'm not saying it's Joe Milton, but they're going to meet with whoever they are going to pick at 54. These meetings are important. You bring them in. Sometimes there is a workout. A lot of times it's on the chalkboard to trying to figure out, okay, this is what you think on this play or this play, this kind of stuff. A lot of that is you take them to dinner and you figure out who they are. As a player, as a person. Do they fit the culture here? All that kind of stuff. So I'm not putting aside the Trey Benson meeting. I think it is notable and worthy of taking a look at, but I just don't want a running back at 54. Not this year. You want to go next year when you've got an idea of who Nick Chubb is or what Nick Chubb is after this injury, fine. This year, I stamp that as one of our show mottos for the draft, which is it not, by the way, in 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Wow. We are flying with it right now. No running back and stay at 54. All right, our Twitter question is up at Matt Fontana Show. Retweeted it at Matt Fontana 83. Drop us a follow there. What was the bigger gut punch this weekend? Cavs with how they played or the Shane Bieber injury? We'll get to that coming up. We got the morning update. We'll recap the women's Final Four. Congratulations, South Carolina. We'll take a look at the championship tonight. John Calipari.
Woke up to that.
Why? What? Arkansas? What? And, of course, he would have been interested in the Ohio State job.
I think they dodged a bullet.
You think so? All right, we'll talk about that coming up. Opening day immaculate. Maybe. I don't know. We're killing the immaculate grid. Not really, because it's killing us, but we'll try to get to that coming up. I think Reflog is going to jump on those too. So he's here. They're going to record the Big Clay Cleveland show a little bit later. So we're in the main studio. So I think we'll have McNeil come on with us for a little bit, talk some things. We got time up. We got it all for you right here on Big Play, including all of our bets on Tipico, folks. Get back to our boost. It's not quite the same without all the music, but that's okay. Our boost is up for the Guardians today. Under a run scored in the first inning. 2 total bases there for Jose Ramirez and a nice little Guardians minus a run and a half. 486 up there on Tipico. Download the app. Use that code Fontana100 when you sign up. You deposit and bet $25 on whatever game you want. As soon as that game ends, you get your $100 in bonus bets. You don't have to win the bet, but you could also take the biggest favorite that you want. It doesn't matter. You want to get your $25 in for the national championship game tonight? Get $100 to bet with the rest of the week with baseball and basketball. Got it all for you with Tipico. Cashback rewards are great. The boosts are great. The parlays are amazing. I do think, and I know a lot of outlets do the boosts. I really think what separates Tipico, the boosts and the cashback. It's none of this game playing bull crap. Oh, you get this token and then you get to put it in over here. Or, you get this, but you only get to use it for this one little specific type of bet. The cashback reward hits your account. You don't even have to add it up. It's all just in the account. Fill the bar up, get the money back in your account. You're back to betting. It's that simple. It's that easy. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER with our friends at Tipico. Get signed up today. Tom Withers with a tweet. Eclipse parking, $60. Patty Harkin, shout out to Patty, traffic lady over there at Fox 8. $70 parking over there by Harry Buffalo and Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. That's about standard. Unreal. We saw it $40 on our drive in. We're at Burke, so we're near the Science Center. About $60, $40 over here. It is what it is, man. It kind of is. So they're up, I think, twofold. I think they're up for the home opener, but they're also pretty up for the Eclipse. So. The Haslam's want a piece of that.
I was going to say that. You're funny.
I'm surprised they didn't open the stadium. And I know there's a lot that goes. They can't just open the stadium. They need security and concessions and all that kind of stuff.
If we had a dome, we could hold Eclipse meetings, Eclipse gatherings. That would bring up the money to Cleveland.
Can I steal that as a tweet?
Yeah, go for it.
Could have had an Eclipse party if we had a dome. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, we'll get to that coming up. Morning update comes your way next. Full hour stuff. McNeil's going to jump in with us. Time up, grid, bracket, all of it. Stay with us. let's get to it. Ryan's got the morning update, the stories that you have got to know. Eclipse Day, home opener. Let's get to it, young Ryan.
Alrighty, Matt. We were just hours away from the Guardians home opener. Tristan McKenzie getting the nod on the mound, Matt. I'm excited. I know you're excited. I know the city of Cleveland's excited. Matt, I want to know, what are you looking for and expecting out of Tristan McKenzie in his second start to this young season?
I just need health, man. I just need him to play this out. I need him to be the pitcher you expect him to be with all the talent that he has. And today's a big day because of the news that we got this weekend, which was just such the gut punch, right? You want to get like a win. I don't want to say solves everything, but you want to feel good about your starting pitching, right? You want to have a game today where people can dive all the way into Tristan McKenzie and feel really good about him. And yeah, man, there's so much pressure, which I don't mean it to be that way. You have so much baseball left, and I get it. But wouldn't it be nice if you went out there and just was sitting guys down? You'd feel a little bit better about where you're at. Plus, again, the home opener is an important day. You got to sell out. People are going to be there. They're going to be all excited. And there's quite the honor. Like, I know Bieber was in line to do this, and there's something to be said about being your season opener. But being the home opening starter is a very important one as well. So I'm excited to see what he's got today out there taking on for the Guardians, taking on the White Sox. So it's going to be a good day. And, again, I hope the bats show up. Give him some runs. Not the first inning, but get him some runs early. And we'll see how it plays out today.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, a lot of people are feeling good about the Guardians, but I don't think I can say the same for our Cleveland Cavaliers. They blow a 26-point lead in the second half to the Clippers, and we woke up, they were in the 3 seed, Matt. By the time we went to bed, they're sitting there in the 5 seed.
Yeah, the good news is that you only got that half game to get back up there. I went through the scheduling earlier where you have some easy games. Some other teams have 4 games versus 3. And we're scoreboard watching. You're going to be watching every single night, waiting for these guys to see what happens with the Magic and the Knicks. They've got some tough games, but are Boston – again, let me run through all the schedule of the other 2 teams we're going to be watching, right? So for Orlando, 2 against the Bucks and 1 against the 76ers. You would say that's 3 losses. Are the Bucks going to sit some – I'm sorry, are the 76 – oh, God. Are the Bucks – oh, no, I keep thinking of the Celtics. Duh. I'm thinking of good teams. Bucks and 76ers both have things to play for. So you think that is going to help with Orlando. Then they got a throwaway game with the Rockets. What I was jumping the gun on was to talk about the Knicks. Of their games left, they have 1 against Boston. But again, what that team is going to be or who Boston sits or not, 2 games against the Bulls, which are really bad, and then the Nets, which is 1 game. Scoreboard watching, and you still need the Cavs to win. Still need the Cavs to go ahead and finish this on out. It's a tough go. Going to be a tough go. We'll see how it goes.
All right, well, the Final Four wrapped up here in Cleveland, Matt. Caitlin Clark got to the championship, but she fell a little bit short. She loses 2 in a row now as South Carolina cuts down the Nets for the 3rd time in the last 6 years, Matt. Dawn Staley, again, a champion. Camila Cardosa, MVP, Matt. Great for the city of Cleveland.
Absolutely. I look at it from this standpoint. I think about the stretch that they went on, and we all, I think, wanted Caitlin Clark to get a win.
I think so.
And I think there was something there, but you realize you ran into an absolute buzzsaw. And it might not be the UConn teams of the past but they're a dynasty. They really are. They are now. And they got out to that hot start. They were out to a 7-point lead, and you just saw South Carolina like, all right, we'll just play this out for a little bit, and then you just saw them turn it on late, and they get a win. They're so good. They're going to be a powerhouse. Women's college basketball has never been as big as it is right now. It's great to see. Great for our city. My wife and I went down to Turney Town on Saturday to hang out with the kids. It was a great setup. A lot of people down there. It was really a lot of fun. So well done on the city of Cleveland. Everything I've heard, it was fantastic. It was awesome. So congratulations, South Carolina. Congratulations to Iowa making it that far. But really, a big congratulations to Destination Cleveland, Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, and our great city, because we showed up and we showed out. It was awesome this weekend to see. It was a lot of fun.
Well, Matt, we got some more news in the world of college basketball last night. Turning to the men's side, after 14 years, John Calipari is no longer going to be the head coach at Kentucky as he replaces Eric Musselman at Arkansas, Matt. And there were reports that he had heavy interest in coming to the Buckeyes, but ultimately they named Jake Diebler as the next head coach.
I'm going to go right to you. Why do you think they dodged a bullet? Think Calipari underachieves with the Kentucky team? What's he got? One national championship?
I think when you're going from Chris Holtmann, who ultimately was, obviously I don't think there's an argument, was a big failure, then you have kind of fell into your lap Jake Diebler, who had the team turning around. I don't see why you would go away from that. I get it's a big name in Calipari, but again, that's a guy who in the last 5 years at Kentucky has struggled to even get past the first round in the championship. I don't see a reason for you to bring him down to Columbus and expect that to be any different. The whole thing is, yes, Calipari is a very good recruiter. I understand that, but I'm not sure that's Ohio State's issue at the moment. I think they made the right choice, and I think bringing Calipari into Columbus kind of would have been an unnecessary headache and be a rough transition period when they have something good cooking with Jake Diebler.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like, of what this team, what Ohio State basketball is going to be, I would like them to ascend to becoming a UConn type. I guess I just don't know if that'll ever happen. Now, it needs one twist and it needs one turn. That all starts with who? The head coach. Are we talking about the next I kind of like to go down your path for a second. What are we pushing for? The next version of John Calipari, right? You want the next version of Mike Krzyzewski. You think they knew anything when they hired him out of Army at Duke way back in the day? No. Maybe Jake Diebler is that. It's going to be so hard for me not to call him John Diebler for the entire time that he's here. It's his brother. But maybe Jake Diebler's the next thing. Got to get some recruits in there. What's up with Michi? What's up with Bronny? Scuttlebutt there? I don't know. But why, like, at Kentucky, it's still Kentucky. And you basically had a lifetime contract. Why would you leave? To go to Arkansas.
For $0.5 million
for a bag. Less. Yeah, I get it.
No, he's making less money. At Arkansas,
really?
$0.5 million
then
less.
Why the hell did he leave? Unless they came to him
he came and said that.
Get out.
That's what he said. He came out and said that for the last couple months he felt a disconnect as if they didn't want him. But I mean, for some of the comments that John Calipari had, especially after his March Madness loss, man, I don't see why they would want him.
Is that something that in like a week or two we're all of a sudden going to get, hey, a bunch of mistakes made by Kentucky?
Who knows? I would guess.
Bunch of NCAA violations. Is that what's? I have no idea. But there's something weird about it. Something weird about it. I guess it's just me. I wouldn't leave Kentucky to go to Arkansas, but that's just me.
Alrighty, Matt, we'll call your shot. The men's national championship is tonight. We get UConn, Purdue. Can they finally break that Big Ten title drought? Zach Edey versus Donovan Clingan will be the matchup of the night. Call
they
your
will
shot.
Not. It will be UConn tonight. Let's head over to Tipico. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Tipico. And I know we already got boosts ready to go right for tonight. Let's see what do we got here. Boosts. I'm gonna go to. Let me go to the game here. Boosts. All right, over 75 UConn points and UConn to win, minus 104. UConn first half winner, win the game, and the first basket, plus 186. Purdue money line and over 70 points, 340. How about go to overtime? And over 150 combined points is plus 1419. That's a long boost there.
Can I bet on Zach Edey over free throws?
Let me see if I can find you some. You know what?
That's
I don't know
lock.
if you could do player props. You can't do player props. That's right.
Lock.
That's right. Yep. Because it's college. Making all that NIL money, and God forbid we put them in a boost here. You can't. Not on Tipico, unfortunately. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay? I'm going to take UConn minus the 6.5. God, I want to boost it up with something else. I kind of like... this one's plus 314. Can I do UConn minus 6.5 and then under 77.5?
As their point total?
Yeah. I don't know why. I kind of like that. And I got it plus 314. I'll put $10 on that. Boom. Tipico right here. Done. Done and done. I'm in. I'll ride that. That's, you want to know what that is? That's me putting a lot of Maloik on Purdue to suck. Because I need them to have a low point total and then UConn
do you
to
not really care to see them break the Big Ten title?
Well,
drought?
I don't really care about that. No, I don't. Like, I'm strictly looking at this of two teams that we've watched. I just think UConn's better. You know, you can vote on, or you can bet on, you know, most outstanding player probably would be Donovan Clingan. I think a good value would be Castle if UConn wins it. I kind of got a feeling that this could be an ass kicking. I don't know why, but like you had a great, I shouldn't compare it so much to the women's game, but like you had so many similarities between the Final Four games on the men's and the women's side. And then the national championship was an amazing game. So I'm feeling a little bit of a letdown here for the men's game. Like, I really could see UConn getting out to like a 20-point first half lead and just coasting. I think this might be a butt whooping. Maybe I should take UConn. Can I take UConn minus 10 on a side bet here?
I think you can do whatever you want.
All right. Alternate point spread. UConn minus 10.5 is 150. I'm going to stay away from that. I'd like it if it was a little bit bigger. I'm just going to ride with what I got. UConn minus 9.5. I'm sorry, minus 6.5 and under 77 point total for them. I'm riding with that. I'll do that for tonight at Typical. I think UConn all the way.
Alrighty, well, lastly here, Matt. A man and his vow of celibacy is attempting to set a Masters record by making the cut for the 24th consecutive time in one Tiger Woods. We are less than a week away from the Masters, man. I know we'll be watching. Do you think Scheffler's got it?
If you asked me Scheffler or the field, I would take the field just because odds would tell you that. Scotty Scheffler's playing some good golf. Rory was up there this weekend, man.
Yeah, I will never bet on him.
I know. Stay away from him at Augusta. I get it. This week's going to be so much fun with the Masters, man. All right, back to Typical we go. I use this app a lot. Can you tell? All right, all sports. Here we go. Golf. Masters. Scheffler plus 360. Rory plus 900. Rahm, 1,100. In the news, he wants Liv to play 72 holes now. Schauffele, 1,400. Hideki to win another, plus 1,700. Spieth, 1,700. Brooks, 1,700.
You calling your shot?
Kind of like Brooks. Cam Smith, 25. Zalatoris, Wyndham Clark, Joaquin Neiman, plus 2,500. Cantlay, plus 3,000. All right. You know what? We'll do it tomorrow. I want to do it tomorrow because I'm going to stew on this. I got names, man. And all I'm going to do, this is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to place 5 $2 bets.
Okay.
Because, like, one of the ones I'm looking at, I don't want to tell you what it is. $2 wins me $70. I'm going to place 5 $2 bets. I'm going to spread it out, play a little roulette here, and I'll give you my 5 tomorrow. I'll think it over a little bit tomorrow.
I'll come with mine.
All right, get ready to go for that. All right, we're going to skip the grid because it's been destroying us lately, and I'm very excited to do this. We're going to bring in Reflog. McNeil is here. Happy opening or home opener to you over there, Reflog. Of course, Big Play Cleveland show Monday nights. You can catch it on Bally's all throughout the week. I had a buddy text me. He's watching your show at work, and he's like, I didn't know you guys were on Bally's. And I was like, oh, yeah, what do you mean? Of course they are.
Big time now.
Big time. You guys got Jensen today?
We got Jensen on. He's going to break down all the action, everything that we've seen out of the Guardians thus far, and what we're going to hopefully see today and then this week. He's going to look ahead and preview what we got coming up, starting off with the White Sox today.
All right, let's start guards, because I don't want to talk Cavs right now. It's depressing as hell, man. When you got the Bieber news, what was your instant reaction?
Well, I kind of had a little birdie tell me there was some news coming out yesterday. It was coming out about 11:15 from the Guardians, and so I was excited. I was thinking Stephen Kwan is going to get his extension. So I was really pumped up.
Yeah.
I'm like ready. I've got tweets ready. I'm telling the group, I'm like, hey, have some stuff ready. He's going to get extended. Then the news drops just after 11, of course, with Bieber done.
Yeah.
Dunzo for the entire season. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, that caught everybody off guard. You're talking to people in the media, everybody who's inside. I mean, literally nobody knew what was going on there except for the guys who were very, very close. Because at the time, we were actually at a card show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And their VP of Communications, who we had in here last week.
Curtis is the man.
Yeah, Curtis
I love
Stanford
Curtis.
was up there on stage at the point when they announced this. So that tells you how kind of haphazardly they threw things together. I think everything came together very quickly here for the Guardians. Horrible news in what has been just a fabulous season so far. Short, very small sample size, right? But a lot of reasons to have some optimism right now as we go into an opening day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is, and I was talking earlier, and he's listening, but like the home opener to grab some of that momentum, get some people down to the ballpark. You want Tristan McKenzie to play well or pitch well today to kind of soften that blow. But we do have so much of the season left, and you hope that some of these guys could pick it up. Everybody's jumping on this Tommy John with the pitch clock and how the arm injuries are that. I can't make that correlation. I look at it, everybody gets Tommy John now. And it's just like, it almost seems to be an inevitability when you talk about pitchers.
Back to high school.
Yeah, now it's got high school kids trying to throw. Yeah.
Yeah. And It'll be interesting. You talk about the shoulder injuries. Now we got Tristan McKenzie going today. And the question is around how bad is that shoulder injury? We're going to see today. Boy, it would go a long way to making you feel good about this rotation, this Guardians team. If he comes out, pitches a gem today, and then you say, okay, Bieber news, set that off to the side. Maybe we've got enough in this rotation. We might be able to make some noise come postseason here in a few months.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be, you talk about the bats, which is good. Yeah. And eventually I know that this team needs to be balanced. They can't be one of these teams that, oh, we're only going to hit and not play defense or not pitch well. This team has got to have that balance, but I see it. I see a balance that I really, really like from this team. Again, you're right, small sample size, but I like what I'm seeing out of position guys. I think Rocchio's been great to start. He took that job. You know, at short, you can platoon some of your outfield guys. Bo Naylor, yeah, Ryan's not a big fan.
Early returns not so good right now, but you got to be patient with the kid.
No,
Come
I'm patient. I was a big Bo guy last year, so I'm going to be patient. It's for me, it's just the base running mistakes that I don't jive with me.
Then you're also talking about if you need to move positions with him, like he had to battle being a catcher in the minor leagues. There were things they were working on. Do you just turn it over to Hedges? Do you put him somewhere else? You just need his bat to get going. Like the reason he is Bo Naylor and who you believe in him is because he can hit. Frankly, I know old school guys would hate me for this. I don't care if he can play defense or not. And catching is different. And I guess the point would have to be just move him or DH him at this point. Put Hedges behind the plate most days. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do.
You know, that Austin Hedges, getting him back in the offseason becomes bigger and bigger. You know, a lot of guys are kind of scratching their heads going, okay, clubhouse guy, he's going to spell relief. But what are you doing? You got Bo Naylor here. Now as you see him, I think he's going to be vital in bringing Bo Naylor along. If Bo Naylor is going to be anything, it's going to be a result of, I think, Austin Hedges helping a whole lot.
Absolutely. Overall season expectations for him. I mean, is it now? Do we still think Central with how bad it's started out for some of these other teams? Do you think they'll compete, maybe not get there?
The division's horrible. Right?
Oh,
I mean, the division's horrible. There's no reason why we can't compete in this division, why we can't make the playoffs. I don't have any doubt there. It's just going to be a matter of what happens after that, in my mind. I don't think we have enough to really take it to the next level. This is a young team, so anything could happen. I mean, we could turn around and have 2 weeks where we don't win a ball game with this. We're going to go up. We're going to go down. That's what you see from young guys. But I really think in this division, at the end of the day, we're going to win enough games that we're going to sneak into the playoffs. Probably not make any noise, but we're going to see a lot of progression. Like you said, timely hitting from the offense. Defense has got to progress. We got to see what this rotation is going to shake out. Got a long way to go. Once again, we keep saying it, but there's a lot of reason for optimism.
Yeah.
You know, we come into these seasons, and I'm as negative as anybody on all our sports teams. You know, you say, what do we do in the offseason? We change the seats from green to blue, right? I mean, come on.
The blue seats are growing on me, by the way. I kind of like them.
And there's a liqueur down now underneath that, and that's the reason they can't change out all the seats. I learned that over the weekend as well. So there you go. And bring in Austin Hedges. Not exactly things that are going to be groundbreaking or really get people excited, I don't think. But the way this team is coming together right now, I really like it. Stephen Vogt, I think the early returns are this is a guy who gets the clubhouse gets him. With a young team, I think he really jives very well, and it's going to be fun. I hate using that. We always use it for the Cavs. This team is fun. The Guardians have now inherited that staff. They are the fun team in town for me. No?
Do you want – no. Cavs. We got to talk about it. I mean, oh, dude, it's just like – I thought we hit rock bottom. It wasn't rock bottom. We're here now. You have 3 games left for the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell's decision is impending. We know JB Bickerstaff's all but done. Dude, just 2 months ago, where were we with this team and just how quickly things can fall? I think we're all in just a really bad spot right now with the Cavs.
All season we've been saying, hey, once everybody comes back from injury, we're going to be feeling good about this team. JB's going to get them set. And now it is just we are in the bottom of the bottom. You know, Child Protective Services is going to come after me because I have my kids. And I got both Grady and Owen here in studio with me all day today because we're going to the opener later.
Nice.
We were listening to the game on the radio on the way.
You shouldn't do that to your son. I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry, guys.
Halftime. We were feeling great.
Yeah.
Kids and I, man, wasn't it? We were saying, man, we're going to win. We are on a roll. This Cavs team is back, brother. We are back. And then what happens from there? 26 points blown. 26 points blown. Child Protective Services was like pulling me over on the side going, do you have 2 young sons with you listening to this ball game right now? Sir, you cannot do that as a parent. That was horrible. I shouldn't subject my kids, shouldn't subject anybody to that kind of misery. And the Cavs do that to you. I tweeted at halftime, this team has brought me back. Man, did they push me away again. This weekend was brutal. I don't know what the playoff. I know what the playoffs are going to be.
We all know. We know what's going to happen. That's
We're going to flame out, man.
It's
We're flaming.
It's bad. And then this offseason, I think the coaching search, because again, I'm assuming we're going to have one, is going to then delay the Donovan Mitchell discussion.
Do you think that's inevitable?
Yes. I don't think you can come back. I mean, here's the thing. I'm a JB supporter. I like JB a lot.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do. I think you've crossed the line and no return.
Yeah.
And I said that, I think even before yesterday, I said that there were games. The one game that really actually probably sticks my craw more than anything, that Hornets game that they lost. And then after the game, JB goes, yeah, we had no effort. And I go, that's it. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. And I get that you make that coaching change to wake the team up, to signify to so many of these players, like, they got to take some ownership in this too, right? You got to look at them and say, this is actually on you. Where it's a mentality thing, right? The Cavs aren't showing up. The Cavs blank away a 26-point lead. People want to yell at the coach, and I go, these are professional athletes that have played basketball their whole lives. How about put a little on them? How about I put a little on them to not sit on the bench and go, oh, yeah, we're up 26. Like, that's fine. Go ahead and let Pete Nance get in that game. Oh, Tristan, you're going to play today. Don't worry about it. And then they choke it away. Yeah, I get that it's supposed to be a lot on the coach. These are also professional millionaires that are supposed to have a little bit of an idea of what's going on with the game.
How about from an X's and O's standpoint even? At the end of the game, do you have any confidence in him drawing up a play that's going to get us a W in the playoffs? Then
I talk about who you going to. If Donovan Mitchell's not right, which is very clear that is not, they brought him back early. I get that they had to they rushed it because they had no choice. They had to bring him back. He's injured. He's not right. So even at the end of the game, you feel good about a Max Strus laying up a three. You know, like who are you giving the ball to? You would say Garland, who actually had a game that I wanted him to have without Donovan Mitchell yesterday, and still wasn't enough, and you choked away a giant lead. It's tough. It's so hard with the Cavs. And the sad part is that we are going to have this mindset entering the playoffs. You're still making it. You know, you're going to maybe have a higher seed than the Orlando Magic. And you talk to a Magic fan and they go, this is great. This is awesome. We didn't, we're a little ahead of our schedule here. And I had the same conversation about the Cavs where I got sucked in to the, man, we're ahead of the schedule here. We're a year ahead of schedule here on this. We should really, this year of a rebuild, we should be just fighting for a home court. We should be a 6-7 seed. And I got suckered in, and I started believing we were ahead of the curve. And, oh, boy, I get slapped in the face and go, no, you're not near as close as you think you are. And that's my other big part about the future of this team. You got a semi-rebuild coming. Because even if Mitchell re-signs.
Okay, go by player.
Okay.
What do you like here, and what don't you like on this current roster?
So, obviously, you're not getting rid of Jared Allen. Now, the thing is, Jared Allen is extension eligible this offseason.
Most consistent.
Right.
I mean, in terms of rebounds, just being the guy underneath, he has been the model of consistency this season. Forget about the playoffs last year, what happened there, the lights were too bright or whatever else. He's been there night in, night out. He's our Cal Ripken out there. He's just the guy.
Then, you know what that means? His agent, Kobe Altman's door. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. We have been the most, however you want to put it, he is the most important player to the Cavs this year. Might not be the best player, but he is the most important player for the Cavs. And he's extension eligible. Any good agent is calling and going, okay, time to redo this deal. So that's number one. You're not getting rid of Evan Mobley. You're not passing up that potential. Yes, the offense has maybe been a little slow in developing. He's still an all-world defender. You're not getting rid of Evan Mobley. Your Garland-Mitchell decision is just going to be on what Donovan Mitchell does, because I'm starting to think he's going to sign the extension just to be traded. It'll be a sign and trade for him to get his money, for him to go maybe where he wants to go. A lot of times with these sign and trades, they can work it out with the team that would be acquiring him, knowing that he's got a year left on his deal. But then you would have to keep Garland. There's no reason to getting rid of Darius Garland if Donovan Mitchell ends up leaving. But if Donovan Mitchell stays, then you're going to have to get rid of Darius Garland. The CBA is pretty much not going to allow that, and you're moving on from your coach. Other players. All right, George Niang, who I think you guys did turn him around a little bit when he joined you guys on Big Play Cleveland show. He's going bad. He's back in it now. He's good.
Get Gabriel Cruz out there, giving him some more shooting tips, and then that'll turn around his game.
Exactly.
And also, if that doesn't work out, he can be our Amazon driver at any time.
Anytime. You missed that show, go back on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Big Play, we got it all for you there. Strus is fine. I like what Strus has brought. He's good here.
As long as he's healthy and he's back healthy.
Karis LeVert needs a deal. Karis LeVert needs a new deal.
He needs a deal with another team, Matt.
Why?
Oh, are you a Karis LeVert hater?
I'm not a Karis LeVert hater.
I love Karis LeVert.
I was going to say.
I love Karis LeVert.
The reason, okay. But that doesn't fix our problem. He's been the man on the spot because we've needed him to be. However, that's a problem in its own. And the problem of its own is he's not consistent at all.
He's been
not
here.
Consistent at all. And that's a problem in its own right that we need him to
I'm going to talk you off the ledge right now.
Please go ahead.
Because the issue is, with the Cavs playing like crap, you're equating that to Karis LeVert because he's here. So people jump into a reaction of the people that are here cannot be a part of the solution because they're a part of the problem. You need to open your mind to say that Karis LeVert is actually part of the solution here, even though he's been here while he's been part of the problem. Because the easiest thing is he's been here and look how bad it's gone. All right, we got to make a move. Karis LeVert's fine on this team. Karis LeVert's fine on this team.
Not late game with the ball in his hands, Matt.
I don't want him in that situation. He shouldn't be in that situation. I like him being your sixth man.
Well, here we are. Here we are, beginning of April, headed to the playoffs, and now we have debates about who can take the last shot. Our future, who we thought point guard for the next 5 years,
that's not
or
his
dude
fault.
who's supposed to be your sixth man.
That's not his problem.
It's not Karis' fault, but you're right, man. Maybe I'll take it back a little bit. He shouldn't be in that position in the first place. I'll listen to that. I'll listen to that.
So we're there. Really, other guys, rotational type guys. I mean, Craig Porter's fine. Sam Merrill is fine. Dean Wade, who's obviously a lot of people have pointed to him as being missing this stretch, has been key to the Cavs. It's just, what are you going to do with the big four? And then also, we got to remind ourselves, they're going to get an influx of something with whatever move they make. Right. If they get rid of Garland, you're getting pieces back. And if Mitchell leaves, then you're going to get pieces back from there as well. So that's the job on Kobe Altman to get that figured out.
And it'll be interesting. You know, you bring up JB in the offseason and potentially getting rid of him and moving on there. Who do you look at as being a good fit for this new Cavs, whoever that might be, you know, however that might look going into next season?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to look at it. Do you go for like Adrian Griffin, who was the hot name with the Bucks, and he's gone? This team almost seems like they need more of a veteran type coach. But then I look around the league and I see the guy in Charlotte, out, Clifford out. Yeah. All right, go to the front office, right? I don't know about a retread, right? It's the same thing with football coaches, right? Do you want the new hot up-and-coming guy? Do you want the retread guy? I think it would probably lean retread because you don't want to roll that dice again, and this team very clearly lacks something. And I don't know.
My point being, there's nobody right now where you say, that's the guy. That's who we need. So there is going to have to be a process for them to go out and find somebody that's going to fit up with this team, that's going to be able to lead this team and be able to do a better job than JB. And I'm with you. I think what I've seen with JB, I'm done with JB. I was going into the season going, okay, this is a make or break season. And barring just a miraculous run in the playoffs, I think you got to move on.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. He could, I still think, man, you get to the Eastern Conference final. Like, I just think the stink is unwashable at this point.
Matt, I'll give you a name. I'll give you a name. And I don't think this is possible, but I would.
Eric Spoelstra.
No. I mean, yeah, I would love Spoelstra. I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's not possible. But, God, I would do anything to just get Brad Stevens out of that Celtics front office, put him here on the sideline for the Cavs, and we'd be the ship would be set back right on course again.
Here's what you need, or you want a little ray of sunshine on an eclipse day for you here, Ryan?
Please.
Who has got one of the deepest pockets in the NBA, and you don't have a salary cap for a head coach?
Dan Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert to pay that money.
You were telling me Brad Stevens wouldn't change his team?
Okay, here's my only comeback. Why did he leave that Celtics job?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Why? And again, there's an element of I can't even think of the word. Probably not good for me to not think of words doing the show that we do. But like, there's something to be said. He was there so long, you get tired. It's like you're just staring at the same thing over and over every day. So maybe there's something like he's been there so long. We want something new. You make the change
maybe
because
he wants to get, maybe he misses it.
Maybe give him a call. I don't know. Maybe go back to college. Maybe he can go coach Kentucky. Yeah. Kentucky, you'd be smart to probably call Brad Stevens right now. What do you think of that, by the way, Reflug? About why would you leave Kentucky?
So that was breaking news to me when I was sitting in the room.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until you guys started talking about it that he was gone. Now, they've been talking about it for a while. I've got a lot of people down in Kentucky, big-time Kentucky backers, who have been saying, we want this guy out.
They wanted him out. Yeah.
Because Kentucky, I mean, the expectation of Kentucky basketball is like Ohio State football.
Yeah, right.
We know that there. They've got to win. They've got to be Final Fours. They've got to be championships. That's what they're looking for. And when you're paying them as much as they were and they're not getting that return, they were ready to move on.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But
Great.
it's still shocking that it actually happened.
I know. If you told me somebody was leaving Kentucky basketball for Arkansas, like just on that statement alone, you're like, what? Like, what's going on? But to your point,
pay cut too, right?
Yeah, right. You're talking about the pay cut. I mean,
so like you guys were saying, what's behind the scenes there? Is it just the alumni kind of pushing them out, and it ended up being a good situation for both sides? For Kentucky, they were able to move on. He's able to save a little bit of face. He's able to walk out the door. Or are we going to hear some more stories coming out about Kentucky basketball? I don't know. I don't have any insight on that.
Oh, conspiracy theory. We got our conspiracy theory back. Yes.
That's right.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Give me the tinfoil hat. There may be something there, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. And Kentucky, they got to turn that thing around, man. Because like I say, you got to have Kentucky basketball, Duke basketball, Kansas basketball. I mean, there are just certain programs that have got to be what they are. And Kentucky hadn't been there.
Car shot tonight, like UConn or Purdue. UConn.
I heard you guys talking about it. I'm the same way. I think
I
you see Zach Edey maybe a little bit in the beginning, kind of like you saw with Caitlin Clark in that Iowa game, where maybe he balls out a little bit initially. UConn makes some adjustments.
Yeah.
UConn's got so much more talent than what they do.
Oh, yeah.
And I think as a result of that, we're just going to see a slow grind. And then by the end of it, you're going to see 10-point, 15-point. I know you were talking about the alternate spreads.
I'm liking the alternate.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad play for this one. I think it's going to be a snoozer. By the way, why are we playing this game at like 10 o'clock at night?
9:40 or something?
I mean, I got my boys.
Ryan hates that the championship games are on Monday, both college football and basketball.
So stupid.
Yeah.
So
it's
stupid.
late. It's on a Monday. It's an afterthought. We got a lot of stuff going on today.
I know.
We got the Guardians opening up. We got the moon in front of the sun. We got all kinds of things. I gotta wait around until 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight for a national championship that I already think is going to be a snooze fest. Forget that.
Yeah.
I want no part of that. I am going to be asleep. I'll wake up tomorrow. I'll collect my money on Tipico because UConn's going to win by 15 plus.
Yeah, heard it there. You guys got the show coming up. Jensen today on a home opener edition on the Big Play Cleveland show. Bally's.
Jensen coming in. He's going to talk a little bit of Guardians. We're going to have Austin Love coming in. He's from WKYC.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about everything going on around the city and, of course, get us all set for what's going on with the moon going in front of the sun and all of that fun today.
I got a little primer. I didn't reveal our bracket of the week. So we do our bracket every week. We did a month-long one at the bar. We're going to do a Guardians flavor, or Guardians Indians flavored one this week. Greatest Guardian of all time. Indian Guardian of all time.
Of all time.
That's going to be the bracket. Now, here's the fun thing.
Now, here's a one seed for you, Bob Feller.
Well,
right?
Bob Feller's a one seed. I think Jose is a one seed.
Wow, Jose is a one seed.
I think so. I mean, the thing is, of the 90s teams, I would instantly say Omar. I don't know about now. I would think Jim Tomey.
Yes.
Well, some people don't like how he left, all that kind of stuff. Like, is Corey Kluber a one seed?
Ooh, you got to put Kluber.
Here's the $1 million question.
So, and
No,
how great is
real quick.
Tris Speaker?
all the time. You can go all the way back. Lou Boudreau. Lou Boudreau will get votes for this
Feel how
thing,
you
man.
will about this guy I'm about to say, but what seed do you put Frankie Lindor at?
3.
I could see a 2 seed, Matt.
Yeah, I think he's a 3.
3.
All right. Well,
I mean,
Does he make the tournament if he's a Met? For the Mets? Do the Mets do the same thing?
No, not for the Mets.
Is he a player?
Yeah, he's
Well, the
he's
thing
on-
is,
he's
with
on
how
the
bad
bubble.
the
He's on
Mets
the
are
bubble.
right now, everybody's looking at them going, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah.
I still go back to that home run because I know you guys have seen the clip. They started circulating again, how loud that stadium was when he hit that grand slam against the Yankees.
Yeah.
And it reminds me, I'm like, damn, I miss Frankie Lindor being here. So that is going to be our bracket this week. And when I say
like
greatest, I leave it open. You can vote for your sentimental greatest or literally the best player that we've ever had. Larry Doby, Bob Feller. Again, then we get to Kluber. Michael Brantley will probably be in there somewhere, so we'll do 16.
Grady Sizemore.
Sizemore probably. Like I think you got to fill it out. He's like the MAC entrant in this. He's probably not going to win, but he'll make it. That's fine.
Yeah, there's a logjam for people of my age. You get right around 1995. I mean, that team, you could just load it up with that team entirely. You could do a bracket just of the 95 trial.
Right. I got to think about Charles Nagy, though. My dad hated Charles Nagy, so it kind of it trickled down to me on Charles Nagy, but that will be our bracket. We'll discuss that a little bit later. Appreciate Joe Carter.
How about that one?
Again, for like short amount of times, guys that really, like Andrew Miller. Can't forget about how electric he was. He was so good, but he was only here a couple of years, right? Carlos Santana for both legacy and records and all that kind of stuff.
Lifetime achievement, Sandy Alomar Jr.
A very good one. So that's why I say greatest. We'll leave it open. I would imagine we're going to stare down the barrel of a Final Four of Feller. I think Jose. I really do.
Little recency bias.
Yeah, and then that's a tough one. Probably maybe Manny Tomey, something like that from the 90s scene like you're talking about.
From the 90s.
Yeah,
Manny,
somebody's got to get
Albert.
Albert's a great one,
Albert's
too.
got to be in. I mean, like I said, that 95 team, you could just put
Stack.
them all in there.
You had Hall of Famers, a future Hall of
haven't even
Famers batting
mentioned Kenny
7th.
Lofton.
No, we didn't even mention Kenny.
The
You're
mayor
right.
of Cleveland.
You
We
can't
haven't
even
even
mention
mentioned
him.
him
Didn't mention it. So we'll do that. It'll be a lot of fun. So so this is how it always works with the bracket. We'll bring it out today, submit to us all night, and then tomorrow we'll fill out the 16. Because the problem is, I think us could fill out 8, no problem. It's the other 8 that I'm gonna see how many people vote maybe for Kluber.
And I get an
versus this
entry,
guy.
right, automatically?
You get an. We do. You and I each get an automatic entry.
I'm just putting Lonnie Chisenhall in there.
I do love Lonnie Chisenhall. I famously said one time that I thought Lonnie Chisenhall was going to be an all-star. And
Did you really?
Yeah, I love Lonnie Chisenhall. Big Lonnie. Do you have an automatic entry for us that we already mentioned?
Oh, come on. Can we have a play-in that has no chance at all?
Sure.
Just throw in Nick Swisher.
There we go. Chris Perez.
Chris Perez. I was talking
so
about Chris
cringe,
Perez on the
man.
way up.
Yeah.
That was
sir.
so bad.
Prodigy Firestarter. Whenever he'd come out of the
Through
pen.
Perez,
Remember that?
right.
We played
Yeah,
that
I
on the
loved
way up.
that song.
On the way
Loved
up here, I was
that
playing
song.
that for the boys, and I was giving them some education, saying this is Chris Perez's song.
And then
You
his
never hear about
dog ratted him out.
Brody Brahm, his dog. Yeah. Went and bought weed. So watch
How
your
dare
dogs,
he?
kids.
How dare
watch
he?
your dogs.
How dare he?
Boys, if you get a dog, make sure you get a good
Make
one.
sure, and if he sends it, have him send it to your neighbor's house. Don't ever send it to your house. Send it to your neighbor's house, and then you just walk over and grab it. Great stuff. We watched it today. Big Play Cleveland show. Jensen, Austin Lovin to get ready for the home opener in the Eclipse. All right, let's jump into time hop. We'll do that when we return. We'll reset our bracket, and we'll send you off on your Eclipse opening day right here on Big Play. Stay with us. Let's get into a little bit of time out for you. I already wrote down. So we do it next year. Eclipse Guardians home opener, but I got some other stuff that we'll get to. We call it timeout. We go back and tell you exactly what happened this day in history, including 2 years ago today, a report that the Cleveland Browns are going to sign Josh Dobbs to a one-year contract, excuse me. Of course, that year had to back up Jacoby Brissett. You know, then eventually people thought he was going to be here. They wanted him here. He went and played in Minnesota. I mean, I don't know. The Dobbs wars were an interesting time, Ryan, but I don't know if he would have
the
stayed.
past or not.
I don't know. Well, I'm sure he's got a lot of thoughts today on the Eclipse.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, should have had him. Should have had Josh Dobbs. Where did he just sign?
He's in San Fran.
That's right, San Francisco. That's a good spot for him. Good spot for Josh Dobbs, but they did sign him this day, 2022. This day, 2019, there was a report that the Q was going to be renamed Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Downgrade.
It would be officially announced one day later. Here's my knock. It's not a field house. For some ungodly known reason.
What is a field house?
I believe a field house is when you can see the court from the street. And you can't do that. So I don't think it's therefore a field house. Now, why did they do that, Ryan? What is Rocket Mortgage? A mortgage company. What does mortgage relate to? A house. They're not idiots. They're really smart. But Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse versus the Q and Quicken Loans Arena, you've downgraded. You've gone from Gund, Q, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And I very famously, for a long time, would fight people. And they go to the Romo Fijo. No, it's not. That's the stupidest thing ever.
What?
I have people. Aaron. I used to work with Aaron for a long
The
time.
Romo Fio?
He would push Romo Fijo.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know. Romo Fijo. It's not it. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. It's just the Q. How many people do you know that still call it the Q? I know there's T-shirts out there. I still call it the Jake. I still call it the Q.
Yeah,
that's where it is. So it was renamed officially this day, 2019. This day, 2016, my wife and I were at Universal Studios.
Nice.
Better than Epcot.
Yeah.
If I had to pick the two, I would definitely take Epcot.
Yeah. You mean?
Oh, no, Universal Studios. No. Epcot was cool for drinking around the world. That was it. Universal Studios is pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
the only thing that pains me, Jaws is my favorite movie of all time, and I never got there before they took the ride out. Never got there before they took the ride out. You didn't know that?
No.
They took it out years ago.
I've been on it multiple times.
They had to take it out to put in the new Harry Potter world. So screw you, Harry Potter.
Yeah, Matt, I've been on it multiple times. Good ride. Pretty
Harry
fun.
Potter
Pretty
world, if I was a Harry Potter fan, was probably pretty
Have
cool,
you been
but I'm
on
not.
I think this is Universal. God, I haven't been there in forever, but the Jurassic Park one, is that Universal?
It should be, but no,
You would love that one. That's a good
it
one.
might, because isn't there
That's a
another
good one.
Universal somewhere else, too?
Well, no, I know it's the one in Florida because
okay.
I've never been to California.
Okay. And there was a Jurassic Park ride that I didn't go on while I was there?
I think it's Universal. So fun, Matt. So fun.
Are you thinking of Six Flags, maybe?
No. So
Jurassic
fun.
Park ride.
You like the end is you go down.
Wait a minute.
You go down this hill and it's a giant T-Rex like pops out right in front
What
of
the
you.
hell? Why didn't I? What? The Velocicoaster.
So fun, man. It was
What?
like it was like you ride
Is
on
it the river
It's
adventure?
the river. You ride on a raft through the river and it's like all dinosaurs.
Why did I
and, like,
not get on that?
It's
How did
really,
I miss that?
It's one of the better ones there.
Huh.
Better than the Jaws one.
Wow. I did not ride. Maybe it must have been broken. You know what? Now that you mention, I think it was broken because I remember being bummed about
Doesn't
it.
surprise me.
Yeah, Universal was better than Epcot for us. That being said, I'm okay living my life never entering the city of Orlando ever again. I'm not going back. People are like, oh, you got to take your kids to Disney or got to do this. I'm like, no, I don't.
Cavs might have to.
Cavs might be down there in Orlando, yeah. I'm out. Oh, no. You want to know what it is? Oh, no. I figured it out. Okay. This is what it is. Jurassic Park, the ride, is in the Island of Adventure Park. So when you go to Universal, there's two parks, and my wife and I did not pay for the upgrade to go to Adventure Park.
Okay.
Because we split it. We thought it was more important for us to be able to go to Epcot and also Universal, not knowing what we missed out at Adventure Park. That's exactly what it was. That's what it was. Because I just Googled it. Is it still running? And they're like, yes. Because that's the Island of Adventure Park. Because when you walk out of Universal, you walk right past Adventure Park. Here's where we screwed up. We paid to go to the Animal Kingdom. I think when we bought our tickets, this is all coming back to me. We went back in 2016. And tell me if I'm wrong on this. Anybody listening or watching, tell me if this isn't correct. But when you go, the tickets that we got you got to pick between going to Animal Kingdom versus Adventure Park. And my wife and I had the conversation. Well, we'll ride the rides at Universal. We don't need Adventure Park. We'll go to Animal Kingdom. Bro, Animal Kingdom sucked ass. And we regret that decision. That's exactly what happened. Going back to 2016, which is crazy. But, yeah, that's where we're at. This day, 2014, the Browns hosted the premiere of Draft Day all the way this day in 2014.
Rip Jogga Lake.
Good times. It's funny for me watching it to see all, like, Dan Murphy, who works for the Browns. Like, he's got a cameo. You know, still a good movie. It still holds up. I still enjoy it. It's pretty great. It's got its problems. Don't get me wrong.
What is it? It's no matter what draft. Who? What was it?
Fontaine Mac, baby. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Great flick. Good flick. Draft Day. Also, this day, 2014, is a report that Jacksonville was hosting pre-draft workouts and meetings with Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, and one James Garoppolo. They'd have been better off taking any of those guys over Blake Bortles. Wasn't that the next? Oh, no, Bortles was that draft. I mean, they all didn't really work out. They'd have been better off with Garoppolo or Bridgewater, for sure.
They went to an AFC championship
I guess
game.
you're right. I guess I'm selling Blake Bortles short. That is true. This day, 2009, the Blue Jackets clinched their first ever playoff appearance. Pretty important one. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I ate a cookie from Reef. Now I get the hiccups. He's got them laid out for the whole show. Sorry, my fault. This day, 2001, for the first time, Tiger Woods wins the Masters. He clinches the Tiger Slam when he won all 4 majors in a row.
GOAT.
The GOAT. This day, 2000, it was the cowbell skit on SNL.
Don't know.
What?
Matt, why do you always react like
Are
that?
you kidding? No. This is big. You've never seen the Gimme Some More Cowbell
No.
with Will Ferrell
No.
and Blue Oyster Cult?
No.
Are you kidding? Seriously?
No.
Not even as a meme?
No.
You need to watch that. It's really good. It's really good. This day, 1993, Carlos Baerga becomes the first player to homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning. Did it this day, 1993.
Wow. Same inning.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. This day, 1987, Phil Niekro and Steve Carlton both pitched for the Indians in a 14-3 win over Toronto. It's the first time that 2 300-game winners pitched in the same game for the same team. Phil Niekro got the start, and Steve Carlton went 3 innings in relief. That's a pretty good one. First time in baseball history that 2 300-game winners pitched for the same team in the same game. Because, again, you would think they'd usually be starters their whole career, kind of finish it out. Do you know the other thing that's going on right now? The fact that I'll tell you this, we might not ever see another 300-game winner outside of Justin Verlander in our lifetime.
I know, it's crazy.
So, of where we're at, Justin Verlander, and by the way, still needs 43 more wins. What is he, 40 himself? Okay, that's not even close. Zach Greinke, who might not even pitch again, is 75 short. Here's your trivia question. Who's next of active leaders behind Justin Verlander and Zach Greinke, the active leader in wins behind those two?
That's a great question. I don't know if he doesn't pitch anymore. Steven Strasburg?
No. Good guess, though, but no.
Adam Wainwright?
Nope. Another good guess, no.
Oh, man. Not Clayton.
Clayton Kershaw is 4th. He's got 210. This guy is 214.
214?
Yep.
And is he still like an everyday starter? Or
He is still in Major League Baseball, and they very much hope he can get back to pitching. He's injured right now.
Not Garrett Cole.
Nope.
He's injured right now. AL or NL?
AL. I want to give you a hint, but I just lay it up. I guess we're out of time here anyway. He's a former teammate of one of those guys.
Of
Verlander, Greinke.
Oh, Doy. Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer is correct. He's got the back issues. He's still there in Texas, right? And he's at 214. And sorry, real quick. I just want to do this. Active MLB leaders wins. All right, Verlander, Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw, Garrett Cole is 4th with 145. Then Lance Lynn, Charlie Morton, Chris Sale, Wade Miley. Carlos Carrasco is 9th, by the way.
Attaboy Cookie.
With 107. Here's what I'm getting at. Because you would say to get to 300 wins, you would probably have to have, what, 125 by the time you're 30? At least 100, right?
I mean, even if you play for... even if you played for, 20 seasons, that's still how many wins a season?
The youngest player on the top, I think this is top 50, right? Is Jose Barrios. He is 30 years old. Right, he's only got 84 wins.
I mean, Matt, I just did the math. Even if you played 20 seasons, you need 15 wins a season.
Oh, yeah. And not miss any due to injury.
That's crazy.
I feel pretty confident in saying in our lifetimes, we will never see another 300-game winner. Blake Snell is only 31 years old. He only has 71 career wins. 71. He needs 230 more wins to break 300. You'll never see it again. You will never see that again. Injuries, how much they pitch, how little they pitch, it's over. You'll never see that again. What a mark that it is. And pretty cool that it happened this day, 1987, with Phil Niekro and Steve Carlton. This day, 1974, Hank Aaron hits his 715th home run to break the tie with Babe Ruth and become the home run king. Very happy birthday goes out to former Indians pitcher Jeremy Guthrie. The great Carlos Santana. Not that one, the other one. The baseball player celebrating a birthday. Jetty Osmond, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Kyle of American Sniper fame, Tim the Tat Man, if you're a streamer, Robin Wright, actress, most notably known probably for Forrest Gump, Taylor Kitsch, Dean Norris of Breaking Bad fame, and Izzy Strandlin of Guns N' Roses, all celebrating birthdays today. No TV shows, movies for today. I know, I'm sorry. It's a bad day for that. All right, one last time before we get to our bracket, let's get to our boost for the evening. Let's go! Guardians tonight. Here we go. Other way.
Jesus Christ. There you go.
Under a run in the first inning. Over two bases for Jose. Guardians win minus a run and a half. There it is, plus 486 up on Tipico. Use that code, Fontana100, when you sign up. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever you want. You will get $100 in bonus bets to use on whatever sport you enjoy. There it is, all with our friends at Tipico. Get signed up today with that code Fontana100. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Final thing, our bracket announcement. It has already been said.
All right.
The greatest Indian Guardian of all time. Mike already tweets. Feller, Doby, Tomey, Bell, Manny, Kluber, Bieber, Jose Mesa, Michael Brantley, Sandy Alomar, just off the top of his head. Appreciate that, Mike. So, again, we'll do 16. I think, again, 8 to 10, we're good. It's the other ones that we get the most votes on that we'll see how it plays out. If you want to put Lonnie Chisholm, I said greatest because it's up to you. It could be your favorite player. It could be the best player that the Guardians have ever had.
So both, Lonnie Chisholm.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can vote on that as you please. So, sure, 100%. I like it. So we'll get to that throughout the week as we go. Today, I'm just asking for a win. Just play well. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be awesome. Stay safe out there. I know people are going to be driving everywhere. Get your gas, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a long day. So enjoy the hell out of it. Get ready to go. Excited for the home opener, man. I'm excited. Get some baseball back. I like the 5 o'clock start, by the way. I like that a lot.
I do as well.
I like that a lot. So we'll get it going for today as well. Cavs, I mean, do you want to update? JB's trending again on Twitter, man. And it's just kind of like the fact that it's over. And, we know where we're at with him. Update the Twitter question, please, Ryan. I don't.
All right, well, 76% Shane Bieber injury out for
What
the
was
year.
worse this weekend? Shane Bieber, yeah.
And then 23% Cavs blowing the 26-point lead.
Do you think people are just apathetic towards the Cavs? Like, this has just been so bad?
And it's the fact that we have a whole season to go with the Guards.
Right. I mean, you make that change. I do look at it this way. This is also going to push back Donovan, because Donovan Mitchell, I don't think, is going to make a decision until he finds out who the new coach of the Cavs is going to be, right? That'd be stupid. Or do you think he walks in there and says, I don't care who you hire. You can get Red Auerbach back. I don't care. I'm out of here. Sign and trade me or just let me go, like whatever. That's not happening. They're going to trade him. But the thing is, the shift at the end of this season, now has Kobe Altman sitting at his desk every day coming up with trade scenarios instead of how are we going to keep this guy or what moves can we make here or there. Now you're sitting there calling teams going, are you interested in like that's Kobe's job. He's got to do the tough thing, but now it just shifts on his priorities and how he's going to handle things, which just sucks, man. It sucks. It's going to just be the death march of all death marches out of the way. The other thing I want to see, if anybody does the 9 for 9 challenge today, tweet at us. We had the debate yesterday.
Seriously.
9 beers, 9 dogs, and 9 innings.
I do want to try it once.
We can make that a show outing with garage beer. What if we just did that
in the lobby?
Right, we'll just do it in the lobby.
Well, okay, but be honest, because I understand you're a little bit older than me. Your glory days are behind you.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Yeah,
would you do it with me? Actually, would you actually do it with me?
If you did it on the right day.
All right.
If it had to be something like maybe like a Friday or something, and I get the kids in bed and like I don't have anything to do, sure, I'd come in. The thing is, we could do it here because
that'd be so fun.
I actually have a line on a hot dog roller.
Oh.
My wife's uncle bought a hot dog roller. So we could have not just like boiled dogs. Like we'll get rolled dogs.
I think we should do it and have Garage Beer sponsor it.
And then Garage Beer will sponsor it. Now the thing is, there you go. I want to do those garage beers. I want to do the 12 ounces.
Yeah, we'll do the 12 ounces. We're not doing tall boys.
Well, I mean, then is that the essence of the 9 for 9 challenge?
No, I don't see why it has to be tall boys. It's a beer.
Well, that's what they sell at the. That's
beer.
what they sell at the game.
Well, okay, then we'll do a
What
little
they sell at the game.
fixed version.
All right, we'll find it up. Enjoy the hell of the day. Stay safe. Don't look at the eclipse out of your glasses. Don't wreck your phone, by the way. Yeah. Don't take a picture of it without the glasses in front. Enjoy the hell out of the home opener. We'll talk to you on a Tuesday edition. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.